first ever YouTube video that I'm going to be talking about something that I find really important, and that is tattoos. So I have 6 tips that I wish that I knew before getting my tattoo sleeve, and then also just some recommendations that I think would be helpful for you guys. If this is your first tattoo or if it's your second tattoo, I just think this is really helpful and it's helped me a lot. Okay, so starting with tip number 1, I'd like to go over some recommendations on where you can go ahead and find a tattoo that you like. What's really helped me is Pinterest. I've searched flower tattoo. As you can see, I have some flowers, and then thousands of different type of flowers showed up for me. So I've ranged from getting roses to getting peonies, which are on the back of this arm, just so many different types of flower ideas. And so that's what's really helped me pick the design and ideas that I wanted for my personal sleeve. Everything that you could think of is on Pinterest. And so that's a really, really great resource that I would start off with when you're thinking about getting a tattoo. Also, if you go on Instagram and you hashtag the tattoo that you're looking for, so for example, hashtag snake, you could see tons of different snake drawings. And so really like a snake drawing that somebody's done or a snake picture, you can literally show your tattoo artist this picture and be like, listen, I want you to make a tattoo that looks just like this. And they can go ahead and do so. It doesn't have to be a pre-existing tattoo on somebody. The tip number 2 that I wish I knew before getting my tattoos is to do some research on your tattoo artist. This is extremely important. Your tattoo artist should be affiliated with a tattoo shop. You should find that shop on Facebook or Instagram. They should have a page, and then go ahead and find your tattoo artist through that link. My whole sleeve has been done by one tattoo artist. I really liked his work. The first tattoo that he ever did on me was the Stairway to Heaven. And I'm gonna go into other ideas on why I picked this spot and why maybe I should have done this in a different area in the next tips to come. So my tattoo artist has done everything on me, and I found his work through Instagram. My tattoos are super in detailed, so that's what was really important to me. Also, if you're considering getting a black and gray tattoo, which are these, or if you're getting a tattoo that has a bunch of color, make sure that your tattoo artist has done those 2 different types of things before. You want to make sure that if you're getting color, that he or she has done color before and that you really like the way they do the color. And then the black and gray, just make sure that you like their line work and you're confident on letting them tattoo your body. All right, so tip number 3, I really, really wish that I knew this before getting my first tattoo. It's make sure that you pick a good location for your tattoo. All right, so like I said earlier, my very first tattoo was right here, the Stairway to Heaven. It just resembles me and my mom. And I got it up here on my upper arm because I'm in the military and I thought that I could hide it. And so I wish, looking back on it now, I would have gotten this big circle maybe on my wrist right here. Just make sure that the location that you pick, you can add other tattoos around it. So for example, since this is circular, I added flowers around it to not make it look so circular. But if I were to have made it longer, it may not have allowed me to add more flowers and other designs around the tattoo. So just make sure that you pick a really good spot where you have plenty of room to add other things if you want to, or if you just want one tattoo and it's a one and done, just have it in the spot that you really like it. All right, so tip number 4, you should keep in mind how much your tattoo is gonna be. So roughly, the bigger that tattoo and the more details the tattoo needs tends to be more expensive. But the littler the tattoo is and the less detail and time that the tattoo artist has to take drawing your tattoo and then applying it to your skin, it tends to be a little bit more cheaper. But also, each tattoo artist ranges their hourly rate, okay? So for example, my tattoo artist, he charges $150 an hour. So for example, I recently just got this hummingbird done, and so this took roughly 3 hours along with some of the florals that he did around it. So 3 hours times 150 is 450. So that's how much he charged me to get this surrounding area done. And then you guys don't forget, you have to tip. I tip around 20%. And I've talked to other people that have gotten tattoos, is they roughly range from 15 to 20% of the total price that your tattoo artist is going to charge you for his work. Also keep in mind that different cities within a state may charge differently. So for example, I'm from Florida, and the part of Florida that I get my tattoos done are a little bit more pricey just because where it's located. And so for that reason, my artist is able to charge more per hour compared to other cities that are in Florida that may be not as populated, can charge less. So maybe a tattoo artist charges you 100 or 75 for an hour. It just depends on really where your tattoo artist is located. So just keep that in mind. If you're wanting a really big tattoo, a little bit more expensive for the tattoo artist that you're going to because of their hourly rate. Tip number 5. And I get this question asked a lot. Did your tattoos hurt? A little bit of irritating in the moment when you're getting your tattoo done, but I can honestly say that it wasn't too painful to get all of my tattoos. And I'm going to show you guys some areas that I thought were a little bit more tender on my body and that weren't so tender, and I just kind of sat through it and didn't really bother me. The tattoo that I have that was in a little bit of a tender area that I'm going to show you guys is my bird that I have. It's right here. It's kind of right underneath the armpit in a more of like a fatty area. And I think that this area is more tender than other areas. For example, right over here where it's less fatty, it's kind of more muscular a little bit. This spot right here did not hurt as much as right under here where the fat is. And another area that was a little bit tender is right here. So it's right above the wrist. That's where my hummingbird is. And then right behind it, I'm going to show you guys, is my snake. And so right here, this was probably a great area, your first tattoo. Same with going here on your outer arm where my butterflies and my hummingbird top half is, did not hurt at all. But once you got closer to the wrist and this bone area right here and this inner wrist area was a little bit more tender. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking of where you're getting your tattoos and if you have a high pain tolerance or not. And I would recommend having a little breakfast before your tattoo appointment. So maybe some toast, some eggs, and a little bit of protein. And then during your tattoo, I would have a juice with you. So I really like apple juice and orange juice. And so I drink that during my tattoos. My last tattoo, I drank a Capri Sun. And so that's really helped me. If you feel a little lightheaded, I've heard that that is really helpful. So I always bring a granola bar and a little juice. I also wanted to add that it's recommended to not drink alcohol 24 hours before your tattoo appointment. This is because the blood can thin, which means during the tattoo, your tattoo can bleed a little bit. And this could be more irritating to you because they do use a rougher kind of paper towel compared to if you were to use kind of like a tissue. The paper towel does help them spot up the blood more, so that's why they use it. All right, and lastly, tip number 6, it's bring headphones, especially if you're getting a really big tattoo or it's super in detailed and the artist has already told you that it's gonna be over 2 to 3 hours. I would absolutely bring headphones. They've saved me throughout all of my tattoos. I listen to music, I watch some movies, sometimes I just lay my head back and I just jam to whatever I'm listening to, and it kind of takes your mind away that you're getting the tattoo. If you are getting in a little bit of a painful area, you just completely forget that you're getting a tattoo and you just let the artist do his or her work. And one other thing I want to add is that after your tattoo is completely done and your artist has finished it, they more than likely are going to put something on your tattoo called Saniderm. And so basically this sheet that's on top of your tattoo is basically just going to keep your tattoo clean and disinfected. And about after 5 or 6 days, you just peel that Saniderm off. If it was placed on your tattoo, you just peel it back, and I peel it back in the shower. And right after that, I put this tattoo balm on it that I'm going to show you guys. And it is amazing. I bought this off of Amazon, but this is the only tattoo balm that I have ever used, and it just makes my tattoo feel so smooth. And I'm going to show you guys because I recently just got this hummingbird done, and if you look really closely, you can see where it's kind of peeling still just a little bit. And so what I do is I just take my balm, rub it right on top of the tattoo, really lather it on in there, you guys, because you know, there's no reason to be light on this tattoo. I just rub it all around, rub it on the back. And the really great thing is that if it does rub off on your clothing or anything, it doesn't stain, it reapply. So it's so small, I stick it in my purse and I just apply it right after I take my Saniderm off and I'm good to go. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed these 6 tips that I have before getting your first tattoo, and also little recommendations that I had in there. Thank you guys so much for listening. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that your tattoos turn out amazing. If this is your first tattoo, congratulations. If you guys want to comment below and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much for listening and have a good day.